Keys for Ohio State to defeat Oregon, the Rose Bowl, college football onto the quarterfinals, trying to get to the semifinals. Number one on the list, you have limit chunk plays.
We're going to see Buckeyes really struggle with chunk plays. Denzel Burke really struggled. So you had Evan Stewart and Tez Johnson. They had just a field day. Dylan Gabriel threw for almost 350 yards. They had 500, almost just under 500 yards of offense. So the first thing they got to do is they've got to play the safeties over top. They got to help Denzel Burke in man coverage. They got to make Dylan Gabriel, throw the ball short and not get these vertical chunk plays. The Oregon Ducks average completion against the Buckeyes was 14.8. That's way too much with the elite players they have on defense. Now, a couple things they didn't do. They didn't pressure, which we'll talk about, but they have got to eliminate these big plays. Play the corners off a little bit, maybe not so much press coverage. Make sure that Stewart especially has help if he's on Burke. Burke has really struggled with these sudden twitchy guys who are good in space. Burke has had some issues with it. Now, I don't think Burke is going to play like that. He had a bad game. He's a really good football player. But these Oregon receivers are really, really good. Dylan Gabriel's a guy I'm very, very high on in the draft, a lot higher on than a lot of other people. So they got to eliminate these chunk plays, these 15 to 25-yard plays, or they're going to have trouble keeping up with the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, you kind of alluded to it. Ohio State's defense just needs to play significantly better than they did in that first matchup where they gave up all the big plays. Number two, you have on the three keys, and you kind of alluded to it, create pressure on Dylan Gabriel.
You can see the red circles are going to show there. So four-man front and a circle, a couple guys who come on a blitz. So it's a six-man blitz. And this actually got called back for a late hit, which I didn't think was a very good call, even though as an offensive guy, I like to protect the quarterbacks. But you're going to see a six-man pressure here on 3rd and 6. And what I like about what pressure does is it speeds up the clock of the quarterback, and it leads to bad decisions. Now, it can lead to big plays as well, but what it really does is that they had 0 sacks against Oregon in the first time. He was not pressured at all game. They simulated some pressure, but for the most part brought 4, occasionally 5 against Dylan Gabriel. They're going to have to amp that up, bring 5 and 6, and get his clock sped up so he gets rid of the football faster. You combine the maybe playing some softer coverage, help on Stewart, make them throw it short, and then pressure. And I think if they can get Dylan Gabriel on the ground a little bit, get him hit, get him thinking, get that clock sped up like they did against the Tennessee kid, they'll be really good on defense. There's way too many high-level players on that defense if you gave up 500 yards to anybody in college football. So I think that's something that you're going to see. I think you're going to see them play with their hair on fire and bring 5 and 6-man pressures a whole bunch.
All right, so the third of the three keys for Ohio State to win the rematch with the Oregon Ducks. Find touches for Smith.
What you're going to see here, so you're going to see the run. If you watch the linemen, you can see the linemen are going to get circled here. I'm going to circle though. They're running counter here, which you can see brings up those linebackers. Now, this is a pre-snap read, and this is kind of the most simple RPO you can get. See, at the top of the screen, I circled Jeremiah Smith. And what that tells you is that if Will Howard likes to look to Smith, throw it to him. And this is what I mean by last week when we talked about not running the ball like Michigan and saying this is a great counter run. They get great movement. They ran the ball very well. But this is simply saying playing to your strengths. So if you don't like the look, so right now you got man coverage and you got the safety up top there. Safety, Will Howard knows that the safety can't get there, and he also knows the safety's probably going to step up when he reads that down block by the tackle to his side. So he knows, for the most part, he's got one-on-one coverage with Jeremiah Smith. And I thought Chip Kelly did a great job of putting him in the slot, using him in motion, throwing him the ball on quick screens. But again, finding touches for Smith. And anytime, you watch a lot. I watch a lot of film, and you watch some guys. This is a different kind of guy. This is a generational Myles Garrett at the college level kind of guy where he's just really, really good. If you think about how good he is, Abuka and Carnell Tate are going to be really, really good pros, and they're not close to as good as this guy. So this guy's an elite talent. They got to find ways to get the ball. If they get man-to-man coverage, even on this simple RPO, this is 1st and 10. They're going to run counter. It's just tagged with a one-on-one with Smith up top. Really like this call by Chip Kelly, and this is what they got to do against Oregon if they get one-on-one coverage with Smith.
Yeah, I'm with you. The other thing, get the ball out quick because Oregon's defensive line is really good and the Buckeyes' offensive line is a little banged up.